Yup, that is Heroics actually getting the chance to show up. We have a Scareclaw deck as well. Circular, or would you believe it if I told you we're looking at Math Mech Sword Soul as well, along with some other pretty cool things. Making 30% of you guys have not smashed the living crap out of that subscribe button. Smash it so we can climb up the 100K ladder. So we're going to be looking at Astral / Heroic good stuff here. And yes, I have not seen a Heroic Utopia deck actually function here. And we're actually playing Doggy Diver here. If your opponent controls a monster and all monsters you control are level 4, and special summon this card from your hand. Okay. And then if this card just cannot be used as exceed material except for a warrior type monster, I mean, hey, it doesn't matter. The only thing we're doing is we're going to be making Utopia lines of play as it should be. So we have triple copies of Astrotopia, triple copies of Doggy Diver, triple copies of the Assault Halberd, with one copy of Knuckle Sword, playing triple copies of Morningstar. Wow, we're really back here with the ancient heroic challengers. We have triple copies of Maxi with the one ZS Arm Sage, triple copies of Ascended Sage, one copy of Double or Nothing because most important card in the deck. All right. We have triple copies of Forbidden Droplet, one copy of Heroic Chance, triple copies of Heroic Envoy, one copy of the Hyper Rank Up Magic Force. We're actually playing Infernal Reckless Summon as well. We have triple copies of Lightning Storm, one Rhoda, triple Talents, one copy of Exceeds Change Tactics, one Shade Brigadier. Then we're playing the one ZS Utopic Sage with the one Utopia Lightning, one Utopia Prime with one Utopic Future Slash, two copies of Dragner, one Rongo Reminiad, because you get away with this in the OCG, one Boguski with one Utopia Rising, one Utopia Double, one Utopia, one Hope Harbinger, one number 100, one copy of the Clevo Slosh, and one Zeus. Side deck here we have triple Ash Blossom, one Arm Sage, two Called by the Grave, triple Dark Hole, triple Dark Ruler, one Harpy's Feather Duster, and two copies of Raigeki, wrapping up your Heroic Utopia deck. Honestly, I would love to mess around with this because this looks cool AF. Next up is our Scareclaw deck. Now, Scareclaws have had a hard time out here. They haven't got as much love as some of the other decks out here, but they do get a Link 1 here. That's a Scareclaw monster of Vice's Starfrost. If you Link summon this card, the monster must be in your main monster zone. Alright, if this card is Link summoned to the extra monster zone, you can add a Rehobia of the Wanton and Willful World of Desire from your deck to your hand. And if you control Vice's Starfrost, you can special summon this card from your graveyard. So it'll give you a little extra extender for this, but I mean, hey, you know, being able to get into some of your more interesting little shenanigans for this deck is pretty good. So we have triple copies of Ash Blossom and Joy Spring, two copies of Effectular, the one Ghost Bell with the one Ghost Ogre, one Jet Synchron with the one copy of the Kukaria. This is your basically reverse Nibiru, and card is actually really cool. We have triple Maxi with one Nibiru. We have triple copies of Scareclaw Acro, triple copies of Scareclaw Astra. And then we have 1, 2, 3 Balone. We have triple copies of Reinhardt here with the one Vice's Starfrost. And we have two Called by the Grave, one Crossout Designator with one copy of Feather Duster. We have one Monster Reborn with the triple copies of the Reichophobia. We have one Rhoda with triple copies of Scareclaw Rival. And then we have two copies of the Scareclaw Straddle, two Imperm with one Red Reboot, and one copy of the Scareclaw Splash. Then we have triple copies of Tryheart. This is basically going to be your floodgate monster to make sure you can win the game. Triple copies of Lightheart. We have one Anima, one Dehark, one copy of Hulk, one copy of Asa, one copy of Access Code, one Rongo Reminiad with the one Bamble, with one Boguski with one Baron. Side deck here is two Lancia, two Crow, two Gamma Seal, one Ghost Belt, triple Dimensional Barrier, one Alternative, and one Emptiness here. And we didn't even need the extra 3 side deck cards to accomplish our top 8 for this event. Not too bad overall. Next up here, yes, we are playing Circular in our Sword Soul deck. Now, hear me out here. Playing a Math Mech package in this deck actually kind of streamlines your level package, but it also gives you access to, you guessed it, a mini draw engine in this deck. Now, all things considered here, I hadn't really considered ever, putting Circular in my Sword Soul deck. But you know what? If you want to mess around, you want to combine these crazy hybrid ideas out here and, possibly be successful with it. That's what Yu-Gi-Oh is about. It's, you know, finding and testing these really weird ideas and getting away with it. So we have one copy of Protos, triple copies of Ash, Blossom, and Joy Spring, one Effect Veiler with one Ghost Bell. We have one Ghost Ogre, triple copies of Incredible Ecclesia, triple copies of Circular with one Dimeter, and then one Sigma. We have triple copies of Maxi, triple copies of Moyi with two Tai, triple copies of Long Yun. We have two Call by the Grave with one Crossout Designator. We have two copies of Pod Desires with two Sword Soul Emergence. You gotta love those limitations that the OCG has. We also have one Sacred Summit, triple copies of Infinite Permanence, one Super Factorial, one Blackout, and one Emptiness here. Down here in the extra deck, we have one Update Jammer. Yes, you do get access to some of the cheesier stuff here. We have one Splash Mage with one Lingerebo, one Decode Tucker Heat Soul with one Access Code, one Laplace with one Alan Bershin, one copy of the Overload with one Zeus with one Dark Rebellion, with one Cheng Ying, two Chizao, one Boxia, and one Baron. Our side deck here is one Pankratops, two Godarlas, one Space Rock, triple Dark Ruler, one Feather Duster, two Lightning Storm, triple Dimensional Barrier, one Red Reboot, and one copy of Solemn Judgment here, wrapping up your little toolbox-esque mishmash of ideas. And I actually think that this is quite hilarious, ladies and gentlemen. Don't you love the fact you can test out all of these cool ideas and be successful with them? Next up here is the Winged Dragon of Ra returning. Now, we've seen this Numeron shenanigans before with Ra, but you've got to ask yourself, how many 16,000 attack monsters can I stack up on Tribute for my deity? Well, the answer is a lot, actually. Being able to tribute your opponent's stuff, disrupt them, and then basically use the Numeron package to just go full gas to the floor. This is by far one of the coolest ideas that I've actually got the chance to like re-see be successful here. So we have two copies of Ash, Blossom, and Joy Spring, one copy of Pankratops, two Godarlas, two copies of Guardian Slime, triple copies of Maxi with triple copies of Numeron Wall. Then we have two copies of the mighty Winged Dragon of Ra, one Immortal Phoenix with two balls. We have two Ancient Chant to search for the additional normal. We have one Blaze Cannon with one Harpy's Feather Duster, triple Lightning Storm with two copies of Memories of Hope, one Revelation with one Monster Reborn. We have two Numeron Calling, triple copies of Numeron Network with the one Raigeki, triple copies of Soul Crossing, one Terraforming, and one Talents. Then we have one Underworld Goddess, one Megaclops, one Apo, the one Access Machine, and then we have one Gate Sunya, 2-4, 2-3, 2-2, 2-1, and two Egyptian God Slimes here, because having this count as a full tribute is busted. Then we have two Droll and Lockbirds, two copies of Lava Golem, two Dark Holes, triple Heat Wave, two copies of Limit Removal, triple copies of Evenly Matched, and one copy of Red Reboot here. Wrapping up, you can do one of two things with this deck, alright? You can either summon the mightiest Winged Dragon of Ra you can possibly cook up, and then have your opponent struggle really the entire time, or you can Numeron OTK your opponent. And like I said, multiple win conditions in a deck like this is honestly what you're going to find and be successful with. I absolutely love this. This is hilarious to me. And the last list we have here is none other than, yes, we are getting Value Town out here for Tier Elements. A few people have asked me if I've seen any Tier Elements doll lists, and the reason why I wanted to kind of include this here was just to mention the fact that yes, I've seen these. You know, players are getting the chance to see that this little package can find its way into this deck and work. So we have triple copies of Ash, Blossom, and Joyous Spring, one DD Crow, one Effect Veiler with one Ghost Bell, and we have one Ghost Ogre, two copies of King of the Swamp, triple copies of Max C, one Space Rock with one Shuttle Beast with one Squamata. We have triple copies of Hoffens, two copies of Myru, triple copies of Reno Heart with the triple copies of Shaylin, and then we have two Call by the Grave, one Crossout Designator with the one Foolish Barrel. We have one copy of Instant Fusion, triple copies of the Parallel Ruined Realm, one Polymerization, one Terraforming, one Infinite Permanence, one Matanze, and two copies of Salag. Then we have one Dehark, one Redoer, one Baguski with one Zeus, two Kitagalos, one Kaleido Heart, two Draco Stapelia, one Mud Dragon, one Millennium Eyes, one Kaliga, one Guardian Chimera, and two Winda. Then we have two Droll and Lockbirds, one Nibiru, two copies of Lightning Storm, one Twin Twisters, triple Dimensional Barrier, two evenly matched, two Infinite Permanents, and one Red Reboot here, wrapping up this chunk of OCG deck profiles for you guys. Is there anything from here you really want to mess around with? Please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. Make sure you guys smash the living crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. And I will see your beautiful faces back here later on the day with some more cool, awesome content. Peace out, guys. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.